Welcome in KSL Sports Rewind. We have playoff football coming from Bountiful, Utah. The Region 5 split champs, number 2 seed for 5A, facing off against the Alta Hawks. Should be a great matchup. Joining with me is Braden Peterson. Braden, happy to have you out here. What you looking forward to tonight?
Nate, thanks for having me, man. I'm so excited to see what we got here. You know, the biggest thing I'm looking forward to seeing is just the physicality of this Bountiful offensive line. Really excited to see what they can do against a young Alta front that seems to be over-exceeding week after week.
Bountiful's done a great job making holes for Siaki, coming in with 1,300 yards on the season. Coming up, a younger team in Alta, coming off of an upset win against Bountiful last week, 38-22, led by Tucker Brown, threw for over 306 yards. What are you looking for from the Hawks?
You know, the interesting thing out of Alta last week, right, talking with Coach Allred, he noticed that, you know, Tucker Brown started a little bit slow last week, but the great thing was he found his stride going into that game. The team stayed up around him. This is a young team with a lot of confidence. I'm looking for the offensive line to really try and set a tone early and let Tucker settle in and find his spots quick.
Yeah, luckily we have the Alta Hawks dressed in black and gray, and the Bountiful Redhawks dressed in red with gray helmets. If we make any mistakes there, that's not our fault. That's just two of the same mascots.
Hey, they did a great job keeping the opposites out there for us. So, you know, the numbers are easy to see too, which is a great thing for us.
Should be happy to hear the Alta Hawks are going to kick off to start the game. Back deep to return for the Redhawks is Brock McSwain and Bo Birmingham. Kickoff here by Trevin Saprizo for Alta. Things could get chilly tonight. We're sitting at about 55 degrees right now. Not seeing any wind coming through, so should be making it easier for both passing games.
It's a beautiful, clean night. Great energy already coming out of the stadium. It's a great night for football.
Kick is up. Drops it into the end zone for a touchback. Birmingham able to hold on to it. We're going to take this offense out to the 20-yard line. Offense being led by senior Emerson Gilman. Has almost 2,000 yards on the season. Making life easy for him is Siaki Fekito with 1,300 rushing yards.
Special player. You know, I had a chance to play against Austin Eckler in college, and this is a remnant. Totally shows those kinds of shades.
Bountiful with 11 personnel here. Gilman getting everyone set. Takes the pass, quick handoff to Siaki. Fights up for yardage. Gets out at the 5-yard line, or 5 yards.
We're going to say his name a lot tonight, right? But Fekitoa just reads his blockers so well. Patient runner, and he's going to get started quick and early today.
Yeah. Bountiful happy to keep the ball on the ground as much as possible and let Siaki eat as much yards as possible. Yeoman takes the snap, hands it off again. Siaki running into blockers, nowhere to go.
You're going to see this play a lot tonight out of Bountiful. They go into a 21 personnel look, and they run a double trap. And watch for the play action off of this, but that play will be run over and over again for them.
Yeah, if it's working, got to keep using it. Sure, Alta saw it on film and will be scheming a way to slow it down. 3rd and 1 for the Redhawks. Gilman takes the snap, fakes the handoff, keeps it up. Coming around the outside, breaks free. Just has one safety to beat. He can do it all by himself in the end zone. Gilman Emerson Gilman with the first touchdown of the game.
Gilman's feet are so special. He's such a patient player, right? Always keeping everything open. As soon as he saw the defensive end crash, he knew it was a pull time, and there was nobody to be there to stop it. What a play.
Option reads have been popular this year in football. Gilman adds another touchdown for 11 rushing touchdowns on the season. PAT team coming out for the Hawks. This is Landon Zayas up and away and good. Quick 7 points for the Redhawks.
Seven, the Hawks, no score.
There we go. Update our scoreboard there. And then, yeah, great job there again by the Redhawks scheming up that first drive, getting early points on the board. We'll have a chance to see how this young Alta squad can respond.
Nice thing for Alta, right, being that it's so early in the game. This, like we've said multiple times, it's a young team, but they learn every time. One of the things Coach Burdett mentioned to me was that they may make mistakes, but they come back and they learn from those mistakes and don't make them very often again, right? I'll be looking forward to seeing what their defense looks like the next time they get a chance here and see what the offense can provide for a spark.
Landon Zayas lined up for the kickoff again. Majority of his kicks this season have been touchbacks. That's well out of the end zone for a touchback for this Alta offense. Having a chance to respond. Leading the offense, Tucker Brown, who we mentioned had 300 yards last week against Bountiful and 4 touchdown passes. Favorite target, look out for number 8, the big wide receiver, Matt McKay. He's also had a 1,000-yard receiving season.
We'll talk more about Matt soon, but not enough good things can be said about the young man.
Matt McKay takes a snap, looking to pass. Fine, takes a shot deep, trying to link up with Evan Morton, not able to get him in stride. Great coverage there by number 2, Brock McSwain for the Redhawks.
I love Alta coming out and being aggressive right out of the gate. Bountiful's defensive front is known for being aggressive, coming to hit you in the face, and Alta doesn't shrink at the opportunity to take a shot. Let's see how they recoup here.
Empty set for the Hawks. Gilman scrambles out of the pocket, dragged down, fights for his way back up, and just sails that one out of bounds. Does a great job escaping a loss.
Great individual effort by Tucker Brown. You know, you have 4 guys up front that do a great job picking up the twist on the left side. Right tackle has a little bit of issues. Tucker makes a play. They're going to have to find something here to get the ball out of his hands quicker.
Yeah, tough job there. It looked like it's either Ethan Higginson or Caleb Norris that snagged onto his shoulder pads, but not able to pull him down. Tucker with a split back, takes the snap. He's reading the field again, comes over the middle. He's not able to connect there. Looks like the DBs broke up those routes pretty well.
The coverage was so tight on the back end there. Good pickup by the running back on the pressure, but Alta's got to find something to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker and not be stuck in 3rd and long.
So Alta brings out the punt team here, try to flip the field. We have 2 returners lined up for the Redhawks. Punt is away, coming to the 45-yard line. We'll stay away from it. I'll let it roll out of bounds. Decent field position for the Redhawks at the 40 spot now, the 42-yard line.
Obviously, you know, seeing that first Alta drive, they felt like they wanted to see if they could take shots early. We'll see how they are able to kind of calm down, let the offense kind of come to them instead of trying to force the issue too much.
Redhawks breaking the huddle from the sideline. Should be feeling comfortable with a quick score here. Should be able to take their time, methodically get down the field. Takes a snap, hands off again to Siaki. He's got room on the outsides, bouncing it out. Couple of flags go down towards the line of scrimmage, but big run down by Siaki regardless.
Great run by Siaki Fekitoa there, but the right tackle gets a nice handful of Landon Albrecht, who is one of the standout defensive ends and linebackers for Alta. Definitely opened up the route there for Fekitoa, but they do look comfortable. There's not much else holding them back right now.
Home team never believes their offensive line has done a hold. I'm sure.
That was
you've
my
never done
favorite
one
thing
either.
to say too. I never hold. I never did. It's, if you're not holding, you're not trying, right?
Yeah, just got to keep working your way around. Or hope the ref doesn't see it. Takes a snap, hands it off again, trap in the middle, bounces it out to the outside. Big run there, almost gets him back to the original line of scrimmage.
Nate, we had some confusion here. It looked like the wing thought they were going to the left, and then we had a counter GT coming from the left. So we had them running around in the middle and smacking each other in the backfield. Fekitoa makes a great individual effort, bounces it outside and makes a play. Everybody needs to just take a deep breath. A little bit of adrenaline in the first playoff game of the season for Bountiful.
Yeah, that's true. Bountiful had the week 1 bye, so could be knocking off a little bit of rust. Didn't feel that way in that first possession, but Gilman gets set, takes the snap, and drops back. Has his eyes down the middle of the field, throws it in, intercepted by Alta. Great hit there, number 26. Bennett Coaster able to intercept that one. Missed the DB making the hit, making that ball pop out. But great job there by the defense. Getting the offense back on the field.
A phenomenal defense, right? A great hit as soon as the ball lands into the receiver's arms there. And Bennett Coaster being aware, playing a tip drill there. And one thing I will mention, though, the offensive line gave Gilman all day to throw that ball.
Yeah, he was surveying the field. That was definitely not his first or second read, but able to read across. Tried to get the ball into his hands, but the defense made a play. Tucker takes the snap, wings it down the field, has his man beat. And he's running still on his feet before being dragged down. That's number 17, Burr Strong. Just got behind the DBs and made a big play. This is a big momentum swing.
Love the great bunch formation to the short side of the field, right? They fake a screen pass out there, and then they're able to go right over the top. That aggressive nature of the Bountiful defense bites them right there.
Great momentum for the Alta Hawks. As Tucker takes a snap again, reads it through, takes a shot, tries to find his favorite target, Matt McKay. Broken up, falls incomplete.
I like it for this Alta offense. Obviously, they've established that they want to throw the ball. They don't want to mess with this defensive line very much. Be interesting to see if they can find some kind of run game just to switch it up, give them a different look. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I got to keep the defense honest, establish the run. But Tucker still surveyed the field. Wide receiver screen going to the outside. A few yards gained there by Trevin Fabrizio.
Talking with Alta's coaches earlier in the week, one of the things they mentioned was that they felt like they could find ways to get to the perimeter, which is where they feel like their strength is. Obviously, we've mentioned this a couple times, but you can tell that is an obvious focus to start the game here, and we'll see where they go.
3rd down, 3rd and 7. 3rd down and 7.
Quick 3rd down here for the Hawks. Tucker takes the snap, throws it to Matt McKay. Short of the 1st down, stretches it out for an extra yard, probably being up a 4th and 1 for the Hawks.
I'm curious to see what Coach Burdett goes with here. It looks like, are we 3rd or 4th down? 4th down. He's a big fan of their kicker, so it'll be interesting to see if they want to go for points or if they're going to try and get a 1st down here.
Looks like the offense is going to stay on the field. Could be a potential trap play here. They have all their timeouts. 14 seconds left on the play clock to get this one off. Man in motion. And they do get him to go. Offsides. That will give him a new set of downs. I guess I saw it coming. I've been watching a lot of high school football this year.
I felt the same thing was coming. One wrinkle I loved that Coach Hendrickson threw in there, I love the back out motion there. It makes you feel like something's actually coming. Great call.
First and goal for the Alta Hawks, trailing by 7 as we have 8 minutes left in this first quarter. Quick pass out to the running back. Gets tackled out the line, calling him good. That is Tucker Brown. Penalty marker coming down after the play, but Alta able to get the points on the board after the turnover.
You know, we just talked about it. The back out motion is huge for them, right? It allows them to get a backer out of the box, and they can read off of those things. I love the quick decision by Tucker Brown there. Linebacker didn't trigger quick enough. He was so fast getting the ball to Mr. Noah Lones. I'm pronouncing your name wrong, son. I'm sorry. Noah Lones. And great play. Way to answer.
Yeah, great job. Again, Alta able to capitalize on the interception and then get the momentum moving down the field.
I will say, though, Nate, I'm a fan of a little bit of celebrating. I like a little bit of natural reaction. You know, I struggle with those penalties.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. Jack McAllister punches you through for the PAT. I'm with you. I like to see the kids have a good time. Let them celebrate as we're tied up 7-7 playoff football. It is tough. A couple times I have been closer to the field. The things the kids are saying aren't classroom appropriate, so there is a chance that the celebrations could have overstepped the bounds.
I won't disagree. I can't say that I've heard the best things on a football field either, so it's only natural.
Fitness. Go check them out. Rockwell.
All right, back tied up game here. Still 8 minutes on the clock. That penalty may give the Redhawks a chance to return. Back deep is Brock McSwain, and I believe trying to make out the.
I believe it's Bo Birmingham.
Bo Birmingham has had a couple big returns so far this season. They kick it Brock McSwain's way. He's able to field it. He makes a cut up the field. Has an opening. Is getting past the kicker and gets brought down late. Great effort by Owen Hadfield, stopping what could have been a quick answer from the Redhawks.
The Redhawks did such a good job at letting their blocks come to them. They were so patient. They let Alta take themselves out of their own lanes and executed phenomenally. What a response by Bountiful after the pick.
Bountiful working with a short field from the 29-yard line. And so Gelman hands it off to Siaki, and he is brought down after a short game of 6.
What a great job blocking up front. It looked like the right tackle came through on the kick out, absolutely demolished a man. And then Paxton Gibson finishing 5-6 yards downfield on his block. Fekitoa had all the space in the world to run there.
We have trips out to the right side for the Redhawks. Yeoman drops back to pass, wide receiver screen. Gets leveled after trying to hurdle a man. That's Britton Tidwell able to hold on to that one and get the first down.
Kaysen Torre came down really hard there with the collision. Saved the touchdown play there. Great job by the Bountiful line to get out there, and then a great job by Tidwell to just weave his way through all the Bountiful offensive linemen.
Looks like we have a bit of the heavier package coming out for the Redhawks right now. You see 2 tight ends here. Gilman's ready to go. Takes a snap, hands it off to... keeps it on the outside. He's rushing untouched into the end zone. Another rushing touchdown. Had me fooled. scores again.
Looks like they had another trap read called this time, and Gilman looked like there was never a chance he was giving that one up. He was taking that and sending it right to the house.
Great job on the option read again for Gilman, punishing the defense for not staying home.
The most exciting thing I find about Gilman's running, he's so quick. Once he makes a decision, he gets to the point of attack so fast.
Yeah, does a good job just hitting that angle, getting to the outside. The PAT team puts it up again right through the middle. Another great kick for Landon Zayas.
639.
One of the things I think Alta wants to avoid here right now is getting into a barn burner, right? You don't want to get in a foot race with Bountiful. Slow the game down. Let it come to you a little bit, right? You don't want to sit here and try and play catch up.
Yeah, we'll see how Alta responds. Felt pretty comfortable keeping the game in Tucker Brown's hand. We've only seen one handoff so far for the Hawks.
And one of the things that impressed me out of Alta's last drive as well, they did a good job finding some misdirection, right? Keeping Bountiful's defense on, kind of on their toes, not knowing where to go.
I'm lined up for the kickoff here. Ball is up. Soaring mid end zone. Yeah, we'll see how Coach Burdett wants to handle this series. Coming out of their 20-yard line. No, handoff up the middle, fighting for yards. Able to go right into the linebacker, but falls forward. Powerful move there.
Brock Russell brought a nice big chunk play right there. Really stuck his nose in there. Looked like a quick ISO play. I love the quick hitting that Alta's going for. Easy decisions.
Yeah, you have to imagine the sideline talk to the defense was all about getting their coverage together, and Alta trying to take advantage. In an empty set now, Brown throws it to the outside. That's Evan Morton able to hang on to it. Quick pass is also as effective as a short running game.
Nate, we're here in the fourth series. First time we're hearing Evan Morton's name. Had 2 touchdowns last week. Don't be shocked if you see this kid get the ball. He has track speed, 100 relay kid. They're going to try and get him the ball here.
Yeah, out of the wide receiver court, he has the most receiving touchdowns on the season. And Matt McKay has the most yards. So we see them shifting into a tight bunch here, and the defense responding. Handoff up the middle with 2 pulling guards. Bounces it to the outside. Breaks tackles towards it before getting pushed.
Love the counter play out of this. They go to the bunch tight, motion in. Matt McKay comes across to be the filling puller. Keep an eye out when they go to that bunch tight. That's where they like to start finding their run game.
Yeah, definitely get those guys in the box. Bountiful running the 3-man defensive front, trying to get all those blockers to the second level to make holes for Brock Russell.
They're back in it again, Nate.
Gilman this time surveys it, throws it quick to Evan Morton on the out route, not able to connect.
I love the play call here, right? Everything, once they've gone to this bunch tight, has gone to the right side when it comes to the pass game, running to the left. They go with a quick out to Evan Morton, just a little low for him. I love the play call, though.
Yeah, don't mind it at all there. 3rd and manageable here for the Alta Hawks. And Matt goes in motion. Brown looks down the field, throws over the middle. A little hot and tight. Intended for Morton, not able to connect.
Tucker Brown looked like he started to fade a little bit on that throw. Didn't want to stand in there too tight on that one. It aired on him a little bit. Young man's played pretty well to start the game. Trust his guys. His O-line's done a pretty good job keeping him clean.
Yeah, junior quarterback has led one successful drive down for a touchdown. And not able to get points on the board there. It was fake punt. Send it off the middle. Bountiful Redhawks sniff it out. Nowhere to go on that one.
I can appreciate the thought here, but on your own 40 feels really dangerous with a team like Bountiful. But you got to take your shots when you're the 18th seed going against the 2.
Yeah, I think that's what we saw, them going the freeze play on 4th down on the scoring drive as well. Alta, I think, knows field goals may not keep them alive this season, so they're going to put it all on the table and go out swinging.
I really want to see this Alta defense hold their lanes a little bit better this time around. Be a little bit more honest with the reads.
Yeah, as we've seen, Gilman already have 2 rushing touchdowns. He is dropping back to pass, surveying the field. Couple scissor routes, throws it deep, falls through the hands of Bo Birmingham. Just a step behind it.
They give it an all-go shot right out of the gate, which I love to see from them on a change of possession like that. Really, really good ball, just right through the hands of, oh, sorry, young man, I'm forgetting it.
It's
Birmingham.
Yeah.
And I think they found something, though. There is an edge advantage here that they can go take advantage of.
Gilman breaks the huddle again with 4 wide. Man in motion coming through. Jet sweep, hands it off. He's bouncing it to the outside, trying to cut up for yards. Number 13, Connor Clark.
What a phenomenal job by the Alta defense. It looks like we have a flag on the far sideline from us. I'm guessing probably a holding penalty, but we'll see what they have for us. Way to cover the field, though.
Yeah, did a great job sideline to sideline. Bounced that one almost all the way out from the wide side of the field.
I got to say, though, I love the interaction from the fan bases.
Yeah, both teams fired up today. We know a 5 o'clock start is tough for the away team to get here. That was a holding on the Redhawks, pushing them back. The 2nd and 20. Yeah, 5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Expect to see Gilman work out his arm on this one as he drops back. And he's going to tuck it in, fight for the yardage up the middle of the field. Don't know if that was a design draw or he just improvised for a big gain.
I do love Gilman's decision-making here. There's no need to force it, right? You're 2nd down and long. You see grass, go get the grass that you have, and let's live to play another down. Alta's defensive line was really close to getting home finally on that one. We'll see if they can start wearing down and find a way to get home.
3rd and 11 for the Redhawks here. So we see trips to the wide side of the field as they're on the left hash. Gilman takes the snap, fakes a handoff. Play action's going to roll. Gets his shoelaces tangled up, rolls again, and dives out of bounds after a gain of 6.
There's that Alta defensive line again, forcing the pressure, making Gilman get out of the pocket. Number 43 for Alta, Mason Tawala. Great job forcing Gilman out of the pocket, and way to finish the play by the defense there.
Yeah, the way we've seen Gilman run, it's hard to take him down, but Alta stayed fighting on that play. And we see him stay out on the 4th down. Looks like they may also be trying a freeze play here to try to pick up the first. See if Alta can stay disciplined on the line. And we have a timeout. First timeout of the evening for the Redhawks. We'll step away again. KSL Sports Rewind Network. Welcome back, KSL Sports Rewind Network. Friday night Region 5 playoffs here at Bountiful, Utah, up against the Alta Hawks. 4th and 9. After a timeout, Gilman. Looks like it's going to be a pooch from the punter.
Wow.
Coming in. Could get a good bounce. Not able to do so. That'll be a touchback. Fielding team not able to help him out on that one.
Folks, that was as pretty as it gets. That thing just skied up into the air, took a nice flip over the top. I'm speechless, actually. Gilman, that's impressive, young man.
Yeah, after seeing him throw and run all night, he pulls out a leg to drop
Not that
that
you
one
want
out
to
of the
see
sky.
that out of your quarterback very often, but impressive nonetheless.
Alta.
Tucker Brown back on the field with split backs here. Sends a man in motion. Wings it to the outside. Got tipped by the lineman. Looks like number 24, Josh Lillenquist, able to be big and make life hard for the junior quarterback.
Alta obviously trying to create a little bit of confusion out of the Bountiful defense, putting Matt McKay in the backfield. I want to see if they go back to that. I like the idea.
Trips to the wide side of the field. Matt McKay in the slot position. Hands it off. Fighting up the middle. Nolan Loans able to get a chunky yardage here for a manageable third down.
Yeah, it looks like we're at about a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8 situation here. I can't see where they've spotted it yet. 3rd and 6. Obviously we're in an obvious pass down. It's I'm thinking we look for some kind of screenplay here.
4-yard line, 3rd down.
Wide receiver bunch on the short side of the field. Tucker takes the snap, throws it to the outside to the running back, Nolan Lonis, who fights but comes up a yard short of the first down.
Did a good job getting the ball out, and Nolan Lonis does a great job fighting for those last couple of yards. Looks like Coach Burdett's thinking about what he could get out of this right here, obviously with about 2 minutes left.
Brown runs out, calls the play to the lineman, possibly another freeze play, man in motion. Not able to get him to jump on this one, and we'll see a timeout from Alta. Be right back as well from the KSL Sports Rewind Network. Welcome back, KSL Sports Rewind Network. Beautiful view of the mountains. It's hard to find a stadium in the state with a bad view.
This is my second time at Bountiful. I'm awestruck. It's hard to keep your eyes on the field, except we have a good game, so it's not too bad.
All right, 4th and 1 here for Alta. Matt takes this direct snap and is fighting for the yardage and might have come into a wall.
This is going to be a really tight spot, Nate.
It looks
Both
like
line judges.
Matt McKay's a big dog trying to fall forward here.
They gave it to him, Nate. What a job by Alta.
No reviews here as they fight for the first down.
The beauty of high school football, there's no replay. Get on the ball and roll.
Tucker brings the whole wide receiver core in that tight bunch again as he wings it out to the to the running back, and it's deflected by number 57, Max Manning, flying off the edge.
We've had 2 batted balls coming off the edge this drive and the last drive at this point. They've got to find a way to get hands out of the lanes. The offensive line needs to see hands and drop these guys.
Yeah, they think they can just kind of run them out of the play, but they've done a great job being big and making life hard for Brown. Matt swings out to the outside, throws it over the middle. Great coverage by the linebacker, number 24, Joshua Linguist.
Looked like they were trying to get the ball to Evan Morton in the middle of the field. Right now, Alta's got to just take a deep breath. They have a big play like that. Let's breathe. Let's settle in. Let's not force anything, and let's find something here.
Yeah, make sure everybody's on the same page here. And they swap around the wide receivers, hoping for a favorable matchup here. Brown takes the snap, drops back, throws it to the outside, trying to give it to Evan Morton. Covered by number 2, Brock McSwain, made life hard for him. Not a clean route.
The hardest thing for this Alta front, right, is you're not going to have all day to let pass plays set up. Everything's got to hit so quick because of how good this defensive line is for Bountiful.
2 Redhawks back to return here. That was called fair caught by Connor Clark, bringing them to the 40-yard line. So we sit here with a minute left in the quarter. So the Redhawks will attempt to further their lead on this drive.
You know, one of the things I want to see from Bountiful this drive, let's get Siaki Fekitola back going again. You know, we like to kid and joke, but I think the kids call it, he's the cat's meow out there. He really is the real deal.
Yeah, he's done a great job running hard. He's picked up some big chunk plays so far as they hand it off to him on this first play. Runs it right up the middle. Runs hard, gets a gain of 6.
Just a great crease created by the offensive line there. And then Fekitola wastes no time. He knew the assignment, got right downhill, and a nice gain of 6 on first down.
Yeah, you hate to see a running back get up to that point and start trying to dance around and try to make a guy miss. That's not the time to do it. You're fighting in the phone booth. You just got to put that shoulder down and drive the legs.
That's exactly right. I think that's what makes him special.
Gilman takes a snap again, hands it off again to Siaki, fights past the first down marker, and is making his way into enemy territory.
I love the play call here, right? You've got, I want to say it's Justice Taufa, number 42, and if I got your name wrong, I apologize. They run the split zone with him, right, and they're actually having him read that end, it looks like, to where if the end crashes, he's going to seal it, Fekitola goes out, but he steps up, he kicks him out, and as we taught our running backs, see the butt cut up, right?
Yeah, that's where you want to go, behind the numbers of all your players. And we hand off again for the third time to Siaki. He's bouncing it to the outside, fighting through the arm tackles before being brought down by a gang of Hawks. And that's going to finish up our first quarter. Brayden, how are we feeling?
Feeling really good. You know, I look at Bountiful right here. Obviously, you don't want to go and overextend yourself, but, you know, I got a friend of mine that always says something. It's a good guy named Harper Walton. The way he always puts it is you want to be a shark, not a goldfish. And in these moments, Bountiful's got a chance to be a shark. It's no time to step down.
Well, great to hear from you, Brayden. We'll be stepping away here from the KSL Rewind Network and be right back to KSL Sports Rewind Network as we have fans on the field smacking tennis balls at the quarter break. We flip the field. We have the Bountiful Redhawks with the ball, up by a touchdown, starting the second quarter.
Can we go back to what just happened on the field? Do we have any idea what was trying to be done?
There appeared to be a lot of spinning and then hitting tennis balls through the field goal. And someone won something and someone left empty-handed. Like the award with the artificially large check was $500, so shout out.
Gosh, I'm
to the
jealous.
spinning.
Might need to go make a new friend today.
Start practicing spinning with a tennis racket.
It's not a good move for me.
Gilman takes a snap, hands it off to Sataki, but he actually keeps it fighting for the outside, and he's getting plenty of yards there and barely touched as he's going out. They
went right back to the zone read again. There's no reason to leave it. I will say Alta did a much better job at staying home on this one. They're learning slow. A little bit of extracurricular on the outside with the receiver in the corner, but the officials let them play.
Yeah, fighting for the yards, fighting for the blocks, able to do so. Looks like the game clock ran for an extra 8 seconds here, so we'll be getting 11:52 left in the quarter. not trying to rob anybody out of this playoff opportunity. Gilman fakes the handoff, is surveying over the field, throws it out wide, and it's caught. He's fighting for the pylon. He falls over it. That is Connor Clark with a big play there, and they're going to spot him. They're going to spot him short at the 1.
Nate Bennett. Oh, it looked like Bennett coasted, but it looks like it was Riker Ellis came flying in there to save a touchdown play. Absolute train wreck of a collision right there. Alta's defense has got to stay home on the play action.
Yeah, they're all scared about Siaki and trying to fill those lanes. We see them in the gun here. There's a handoff to Siaki, fighting at the line, falls forward. I believe he's in the end zone, but they are both signaling short.
They went to their monster package. They've got big number 79 in the backfield as a lead blocker with, I believe it's Dawson Alsop and then Bradley Lloyd coming through to fill the hole there. They should be able to get a push here.
Yeah, great job by Alta, able to stop him on the first attempt. Looks like we might see it again. And it's to the right side this time. Siaki just flies through for a quick touchdown for the Redhawks.
Sorry, Caleb Norris. That is Caleb Norris leading through the hole, the big defensive lineman of Bountiful. And frankly, Becky Toa could have kept running all the way home on that one. A little bit of a Forrest Gump situation.
Yeah, they did a great job stopping him on the first play, not able to plug all the lanes that second time, as we see Landon Zayas out here for another PAT attempt.
Keep an eye on this. Number 55 for Bountiful, one of their offensive linemen has come off.
Fighting for 5 yards there. Great job for a first play there by Nolan Lonis.
Absolutely great job by the offensive line. Running an inside zone to the left there. Everybody gets up, way I like to put it is right. Look left, see left, block left. They do a great job not chasing ghosts, and Lonis takes no time waiting and just gets right vertical.
Lonis takes the handoff again, makes a move to fight up field for extra yards, and is going to get a first down.
I love what Alta's doing here, right? They're slowing the game down. They're taking advantage of what Bountiful is giving them. They bring in Matt McKay as a wing player here, and when they do that, they add the extra blocker to their zone scheme, and you see Lonis see the spot crack open on the backside with Matt, and he takes off.
Makes life a little easier on Brown as well, as he pitches this off to the sweep. And we see them fighting for the yards to the outside, and great coverage there by the defense. But Evan Morton fighting to get cut up from the sideline, had nowhere to go.
Alta wanted to take advantage of Morton's track speed there, right? But one of the great things you're seeing out of this Bountiful defense, they moved to side very, very well. Just such an athletic front that they have. And, I like the idea, but I think you got to stick with the inside run game right here, and then I think you try and go over the top on them.
Yeah, see if they be able to bring more Redhawks into the box to be able to get Brown to throw on a man in motion there. Throws it to Matt on the outside, bakes a tackle, and finds a spot to gain about 3 yards.
Looks like we had a missed block right out of the top there, right? We want to run that back out screen to Matt McKay. Looks like the receivers left the first guy at the point of attack and went to second level. Great individual effort by Matt McKay there to break the first tackle, but we're looking at 3rd down and 8.
3rd and 8. Brown getting the team ready here. Bunch to that short side of the field. Double checking the coverage here. Trying to get them to jump almost. Takes the snap. Looking for his wide receiver on the outside. Able to connect there. Big play there by Breck Warren. Brown wanted to throw that earlier, but kind of took another second to wait for the route to develop.
We've seen Alta do this multiple times now. They send that bunch tight to the boundary. They have the one single receiver out to the field side. Everything says we're going left, we're going left, we're going left, and they hit him back with a quick slant on the backside on the single coverage. They are moving well. I like the game plan for this series. They're going bunch tight again.
Yeah, taking their time to move up the field, methodically going through this drive, checks it down, back to the wide receiver, trying to get some blocks up front, rallied in, Breck Warren on the catch with nowhere to go.
Yeah, Bountiful read this one really, really quick. The other hard part here is that ball just did not get to the young man quick enough. It looks like it's Bear Strong. A little bit late getting it over to him. And they're on top of it real quick. Little shout out to the Strong family. Good people. Know them personally.
Good job. Yeah.
Didn't know he was going to be out here.
Brown throws across the middle of the field on that streaking route. Still's not been able to connect. Intended for Burr Strong. Great job again there by those linebackers. Able to fall into the coverage to make that route. They have not been able to connect tonight.
It looks like they're sitting in this too high setup, and they are coming down hard as soon as that ball leaves the hand. A lot of congestion there. Not a bad placement, just a little low.
Brown surveys, throwing it to the outside to Matt, not able to hold on to it. Brock McSwain making plays tonight, able to hit that one out.
Brock McSwain comes in, goes to the sure-handed Matt McKay, and he leaves nothing on the table. He goes in for the full shot. Does a great job knocking the ball loose. Curious to see if they're willing to kick the ball here. Coach Burdett mentioned earlier this week that they like their kickers' chances, especially with the touchback rule in high school.
Yeah, it doesn't be favorable if you miss it. You can still get the touchback here. Motions a man to an empty set. Has time. Hauls it in. Not able to get it to the correct shoulder there. As intended again for Bear Strong. Just not able to get the ball to him.
Great job by the offensive line. They go empty there. That puts a lot of pressure on you. They really manned up there, gave him a good chance to get the ball downfield, and just missed a little bit on the backside of the throw there.
Yeah, again, DBs of the Redhawks making life hard for this wide receiver core and Brown to get much deep air yardage.
Nate, dare I say this is probably the most important series for this Alta defense right here.
We have 7 minutes and 18 seconds left on the clock. Siaki motions to an empty field. See if Gilman will wing this one out. He reads the field, moving well in the pocket, finds his man, streaking across the field. Number 6, Bo Birmingham. Quick first down for the Redhawks.
You know, the special thing that this Bountiful offense has going for them, every one of their offensive linemen is a returning starter. Bushman, their centers, played 34 games, right? They can go empty and let Gilman, the experienced starter, just dance back there and make plays.
Yeah, it didn't have much pressure in the pocket, just drifted a little bit to the play side and made a play as he's looking to keep it on this one. Nowhere to go. Alta answers. Number 78, Timmy Snell, gets into the backfield and wraps him up.
Alta finally gets home with the sack. Great spin move by Snell. He feels the right guard get a little bit outside shade on him, oversets him, spins him right back, and way to wrap up Gilman. That's a tough tackle there. Great job by the young man.
2nd and 13 for the Redhawks. Hard snap here, hands it off to Siaki. Siaki's flying up the hole, just has a lane to fight up the field for and does a great job running through contact.
Nate, there's 3 things in life: death, taxes, and Bountiful's counterplay. Okay? Give the ball to Fecky Toe with 2 pullers, and I guarantee he's getting 6+ yards.
Yeah, it does a great job. It has a lot of blocking up there, just a huge lane for him. to start fighting at that second level for additional yards. 3rd and 1 here.
Keep an eye out for a trap.
Possible trap here. Siaki's fighting for the yardage. Does a good job bouncing off that secondary. Picks up more than necessary for the first down.
They don't go with the trap. They go with the split zone, which is one of their variations out of this formation that we've seen. And watch for the play action out of that next. Something they really like to go to once they've gotten a couple yards out of this.
Yeah, like seeing the offense develop as they're able to call complementary plays to get down the field, try to keep the defense on their toes.
And here we are just about in the same formation.
Hands off to Siaki, bouncing it to the outside and gets cleanly tackled by number 41.
You know, one of the interesting things to watch here as we go, sorry to interrupt you. It's hard to hear up here, guys. We apologize. But, you know, you're watching the wing player. He goes from a kind of a sniffer position where he's behind the O-line. He kicks out, and all of a sudden they're running an inside zone play. Determining where he's at is going to determine a lot with the run play for them.
Great insight here. My former coach, Braden Pearson. You see Gilman take the snap, hands it off to Siaki again, fighting through the hole. Great vision there. Works his way up for a first down inside the 10-yard line.
Big William Nixon on the dart play here. They run a dart left, which is your tackle pulling around to be your power guy. Feki Toa is so patient, right? It's those things that make him special. He knows when to hit the hole hard. He knows when to be patient. He lets his blocks develop, and as soon as it opens up, he's immediate to the point of attack.
Gilman's lined up again. We do have the little stacked wings on the side. Siaki gets the handoff, met right at the line of scrimmage. This time, still fighting for yardage. Still had nowhere to go as Alta fought as hard as they could to take him down.
Goodness, just the individual effort. 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, right? Just continues moving his feet. We'll see what the penalty is. I'm guessing a face mask based off what I'm looking at. Again, they go to that tight end with a wing attached. The wing's wide. They run out, or they run an inside zone look.
Good call there, Ray, as a face mask was called on the play as they were doing anything they could to bring Siaki down. This is going to put them up on at the 4-yard line.
One thing I'd keep an eye out for here, Nate, watch for the zone read again. Right, they have gone back-to-back plays right to Feki Toa. Watch for the option read.
Gilman under center here with this power package. Hands it off to Siaki. He's bouncing through and just waltzes into the end zone. Touchdown, Redhawks.
It's just unfair when you can stick defensive linemen, fullbacks, running backs, and everybody just powerhousing, running a nice ISO play. Actually, might have been duo. We got a little extracurricular going on here.
Yeah, things heat up. This could be, it's win or go home in the playoffs, and looks like we're getting a warning here from players on the sideline.
One of the great things talking with Coach Purdett, he has built this program this year in his first year strictly off of culture. He said, we want to make the hard decisions with our team. Overall, this is a very disciplined Alta team that we've seen so far.
All right, another unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Alta be assessed at the kickoff as we have Landon Zayas lined up for the PAT, and most likely an easy touchback. It looks like it was deflected at the line, and the flag's coming up, but still off the squib, gets enough power to sink that one through. Give me a 3-touchdown lead.
Out.
A hold was called by on the offense on the PAT.
It shouldn't be assessed. It should be assessed Should be. Okay.
They're going to have. So I was eager to hit the scoreboard. We're going to have to take off that PAT as they're going to push this one back and let Landon Zayas show off his leg again.
I love the fire Alta came out with on that PAT, right? You have an emotional breakdown there. You come back, and instead of fighting more, they go and they play between the whistle and make a play. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully fire him up here. As we've seen the only score from Alta tonight come off an interception. Kicks it up again, punches it right through the middle. Still automatic for Landon Zayas.
Landon's an impressive kicker, man. His leg strength is undeniable, and he's so reliable.
Yeah, done a great job here. So great job there by the Redhawks, pushing the ball down the field, keeping it on the ground. Able to burn up a bit of clock here in the second half. 3 minutes left for Alta to try to answer here. Plenty of time. You don't have to be just winging it out there, empty sets. Plenty of time to set this up and move it down the field.
There's a lot of football left to be played, right? Odds are you're either going to see a pooch kick or they're going to just send it out of the back. But I think you're going to see something to try and get the ball back here if you're Bountiful.
Yeah, Bountiful try out an opportunity here with the 15-yard assessed penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct.
At this point, if you don't get it right, you're still giving them about normal field position. We'll see what they want to do, but something to keep an eye on.
It's like we have Evan Morton and Breck Warren back deep to return this one. They're just going to boot this one through the upright and settle for the touchback.
Nate, I got a question for you.
I'm here for you, Braden.
What do you think Alta needs to do here? Like, what kind of things do you want to see out of them?
I think they've done a good job handing it off to Nolan Loans and setting up short third downs for Turner to make plays. They've also mixed in taking shots down the field, but feels like playoff game, junior quarterback, he may be feeling a little bit of heat. And so we just need to make life easier for him as we see a false start coming in here. Looks like the ball may not have been set on that one. We're just gonna redo that.
It's all right. We all need redos.
Oh, fakes a handoff, throws off to Matt McKay. Matt McKay had a quiet game so far, able to pick up that first down. Brown's favorite target this season.
I'm going to sound like I'm piggybacking off the play, but I wanted to see more play action coming into this drive. Immediately, they go to the counter play action, find their main guy, look for more of the play action, and then quick hitters up the middle.
Brown takes a snap, hands it off to Loans. He's cut down by number 12, Dawson Alsop, which looked like he had a lot more yards to run, but the linebacker just made a play.
Great job by Alsop coming in and stopping Loans as he had a chance. He looked like a freight train. Looks like they're going to the RPO game a little bit here. Let's see what they're going to develop.
Brown takes the snap, hands it off to Loans again, gets caught in the wash, but still falls forward for a gain of 2.5, 3 there on the play. Bring up a 3rd and 3. Clock rolling, coming up on the last 2 minutes of the half.
Lonis is an impressive runner, right? He follows so tightly behind McKay here. He's able to actually escape the edge defender coming off so hot. He's able to get in there and force a couple more yards. Look for a quick play action ball here.
Trips to the outside, man in motion to the outside. Looks like we're going to have a false start here on Alta as the wide receivers were eager to get up the field.
You know, that back out motion that they do there, it's almost like a play action for Alta, right? Because it's that short screen game, right? It allows to pull the defenders out, right? If they don't, they can throw it. If not, they've got things over the top.
So 3rd and 6 now for the Alta Hawks. Brown takes the snap, is looking down the field, trying to feed that one in to Breck
Late
Warren.
flag, Nate.
Pretty late flag coming in here, but it did feel like the defender was wearing him like a backpack.
I will say, as an offensive guy, no bias, obviously, I'd be screaming for a flag here. Now, the one thing is they have let him play physical today. I just think he was a little bit too draped on him there.
Yeah, kind of out of position there, trying to make life hard. Wasn't able to do it within the rule book.
I'm not a big rule book guy, Nate. It's probably a fair statement. I think my mom and dad would agree with you. Or with me, I guess.
We get a first down here for the Alta Hawks, keeping this drive alive. 1:24 left on the clock. Brown takes the snap, reads it, weaves it over the field. There's a miscommunication. Not able to connect there with Breck Warren. The cornerback in that kind of the hook curl route had to pick up Matt McKay and just let Warren over the top.
The offensive line did a pretty solid job picking up the twists on both outsides here, right? Such a tough one. Short memory, be a goldfish in this moment.
Yeah, it'll be available later.
Shark, but be a goldfish, short memory. I'm contradicting sometimes.
Brown looking to the trip side of the field, has Matt McKay circled underneath. He's going to fight for a few extra yards before going out of bounds at the 33-yard line. 1:10 on the clock.
Really savvy play by Matt McKay here, right? They leak him out the backside of this, get him the ball. He had a chance to juke back in, played smart, stayed on the sideline, gets the ball out of bounds, and they're living with a stop clock.
1st and 10 for the Alta Hawks, trying to get on the scoreboard to light up once again. Man coming off the edge, making life hard.
Looks like we had a messed up communication up front with this young Alta offensive line. They need to move on quickly, right? Those 5, as long as they're all doing the same thing, the team's probably going to be okay, even if they're doing the wrong thing. They need to communicate. Coach Hill, their O-line coach, mentioned this earlier this week. Communication.
Yeah, Justice Tuafa, 3-star recruit in the state. Not what Brown wanted to turn and see as he's answering back here to try to hit Matt McKay. Looks like he catches it as he goes out of bounds. Able to haul in these passes that Bountiful was breaking up in the first quarter.
What a response by Alta, right? Their back is against the wall right now. We're looking at a potential down, running down a snowball down a hill. There we go. That's what I wanted. Alta's responding. I like it.
Yeah, doing a great job here as they take a timeout to be on the same page. We'll take one as well here on the KSL Sports Rewind Network. Your football here in Bountiful. 3rd and 4 for the Alta Hawks. 52 seconds left in the half.
Watch for them to go to McKay on the short side of the field.
Looks like he's serving, reads it, tries to take it over the top, fighting for the wide receiver. Looks like the tie's going to go to the runner, but the ref is calling it incomplete. That's where we'd love to see a replay there. The ref's closer to it, probably could have seen the ball fight for it, but
we had a dog fight going on that outside there. McSwain beat Morton to the ball. Morton looked like he ripped it away. And obviously in the fighting in the hands, it just did not finish.
All right, big fourth down here for the Alta Hawks. Puts that man in motion. Quick check down here to the running back. He's flying up the field. Hurdles, falls into the end zone. Calls it a touchdown for the Alta Hawks. Great job,
Nate,
there.
I'm not sure they did. We're waiting to see the call.
No,
Did you get one?
I thought I saw hands up in the end zone.
It looks like it where the placement of the ball's
field.
going. Wow. I love the play call here, right? They send the back out. Nobody goes after him. Tucker Brown knew his read so quick, gets it to him immediately, and Lonis makes the rest of the thing happen. Great hurdle, and they're in this game.
Yeah, still fighting back here. Have a chance as Jack McAllister sends this one up and good for the PAT. Only touchdowns being scored tonight in Bountiful.
What a tough squad this young Alta team is. They're going up against a debatable, well, I guess it's not debatable because they're number 2, but they beat the number 1 team 2 weeks ago who has an absolute stacked trench room. And Alta is going up, and they are not backing down. They go down 3 scores. What do? They bow their neck. They run down the field, and Tucker Brown executes a great drive. Here we are, 14-point game, 35 seconds left in the quarter. Get a quick stop here if you're Alta, and you're feeling real good.
Yeah, I think they heard us in the booth as we wanted to see some more play-action plays there and also see some shorter third downs, trying to make life easier for the junior quarterback. 35 seconds left on the clock as we see Jack McAllister boot this one. Looks like this is going deep out of the field here. Not a lot of time for Emerson Gilman and the Red Hawk offense. See if they'll take a shot down the field or if they'll be happy to regroup in the locker room.
Depending on how aggressive they want to be, I'm come from a more aggressive mold. I think I'm taking a couple shots to the outside, trying to get to about the 40, and then seeing if we can come up with something special. They did this a week or 2 weeks ago against Roy, where Fekitoa launches a rugby pass all the way across the field, and they take it in to score at the end of the half. They will try things.
Yeah, it looks like 4 wide. It was a possible screenplay. Throws it right into number 40, Stephen Tua, who is regretting not being able to hold on to it, but batting it down is the next best thing.
Poor Steven's going to be dreaming about that one for the next year and a half until he gets a chance at it again. Great play by the young man.
Great job sniffing out the screen pass there. Gilman takes it again, is going to keep it after faking the handoff to Sasiaki. Is going to just try to waltz his way out of bounds and take no damage there.
Nito Fanua, I believe, was the DB on the close side here. One of the things you saw him do, he sees Gilman coming out, immediately gets to the point of attack and forces him back into where the rest of his help was instead of being too aggressive. This Alta team really does learn quickly. They made a couple mistakes early on that play, and they've subsided those.
Yeah, young squad here for Alta. A lot of underclassmen out here getting meaningful reps. Try to bring them back to another prestigious year next year. This was, forgot to mention, the semifinals matchup as Gilman checks it down to the outside and gets out of bounds quick. There is number 13, Connor Clark.
I like the play call here, Nate. Quick out of bounds shot, right? Get the out route, get into a sure-handed receiver. You got 21 seconds now. You're able to play ball. You need about 10 more yards to where I think you can start making something special happen.
Yeah, last year Bountiful left with the victory after a 2019 game. Gilman scored a touchdown with 1 minute and 2 seconds left on the clock to seal the deal for him. So as we see things getting chippy, this is a rivalry that's been brewing since last playoff. Gilman drops it back. He's going to scramble it up, keep his eyes down the field, wing it to the outside, flag in the backfield.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a block in the back, which rarely is called inside the box here. But It's what I'm looking and what I saw. We'll see what they actually say. It's a more realistic call.
Yeah, holding going there as we saw Gilman dancing around in the pocket trying to keep it alive. Always makes life hard for the linemen because they don't have eyes in the back of their head. They don't know where he's going and just try to make his life as hard as they can in the trench for the defensive linemen.
I got some thoughts on that. Remind me later.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll have opportunities to touch back. Gilman looking like he could be going deep here. Esiaki hangs it in. But a big answer here from number 39, Nido Fonua.
You just watch Feki Toa turn to Fanua and give him a little bit of a head nod like, all right, respect. And I don't know if I want that comment from Feki Toa if I'm anybody, because that means in his head he's coming back right for you.
No, yeah. The rest of this game, he's just hoping for outside zone so he can get that one-on-one contact with the corner.
That's exactly right. Fanua's made some great plays on this drive.
8 seconds, clock's ticking, handoff to Siaki, and that's going to take us to the halftime. Bountiful up 27. Alta fighting to stay in this 14. Excellent first half from both teams. The number 18 seed versus the number 2 seed. Still fight from both dogs.
Love this first half, right? Two completely opposite teams offensively, right? You've got Alta, who loves to spread this thing out. They don't want to get into big, heavy packages. And then you've got Bountiful, who's just ground and pound. I mean, they're an offensive lineman's dream to play in that offense. You know, one thought for Alta is consistency. We said that a little bit earlier. If you can be consistent, Alta's going to stay in this game. Bountiful, stay to the script, right? Do what you do best. You've got the best hogs in the state in 5A. Run behind them. Let them win you the football game.
Yeah, appreciate that insight, Braden, and shout out to Austin running the camera for us as well. We'll step away at halftime and be back for this second half of the Region 5 playoff football on KSL Sports Rewind. Region 5 playoff football. We are entering the third quarter with Bountiful Redhawks up 28 to 14 against the Alta Hawks. Redhawks are kicking the ball off. We just saw Alta finish the drive to put us into the half with a touchdown, making this a manageable 2-point lead.
Nate, the Bountiful hype man, said let's get rowdy, and I kind of want to join him.
Big boot there in field as the Alta return men fight for it. It's number 3, Evan Morton, finding room. It's a solid return there up past the 35-yard line.
Wow. Great patience. Almost a disaster when they catch the ball there, running into each other. Almost looking like the New York Yankees. Sorry if that's a little sore for everybody still. And Evan Morton doesn't fail. Picks it up. Takes it out to 37.
Yeah, Evan Morton, junior wide receiver, trying to make his mark on the game. Get some great field position to start here. See, they're able to warm up here. Quick handoff up the middle, fighting for yardage. Almost breaks the tackle. Drags him down, number 23, Nolan Lonis.
I love single back power. It's an O-lineman's dream. Quick wrap for the right guard, coming out to the left. Great lead block, and then Lonis just takes control of the seam.
Alta firing up some momentum, starting this half. Hands off again to Lonis. Fighting for the edge on the outside, gets it there and is pushed out of bounds.
So Bountiful reads it quicker this time, right? They go single back power again. Linebacker triggers early, smacks the puller, and Lotus says, no worries, I'll just bounce this outside and grab another 5. Great start by the Alta offense. I love them going to the run game, by the way.
Yeah, make life easier for Brown. We know he can make plays, but let's put him in situations where he can get that check down to Matt McKay, his favorite target of the season. And there at the wing back. Hands off again to Lonis. Red Hawk flies through the hole.
We actually had Brock Russell on that one. Love the play call, though, right? They go to inside zone, right, but they use an insert tag, as I would at least. Matt McKay leads up. Looks like we missed a block, and so there we had the collision.
Yeah, Dawson Alsop just flies through the line, smacks the legs, nowhere to go there. 3rd and 4. Brown takes the snap, hands off again. Lone is stuffed quick.
And there's Alsop again. Holy cow, just comes flying in. Russell had a chance to get the first down, and he put the brakes on him quick.
Alsop being a marquee middle linebacker there, just stepping up into the hole, making plays in the backfield.
Really interesting start by Alta. They haven't run the ball like this all game. They come out and they run the ball 4 times in a row.
Empty set here for the Hawks. See if the defense is disciplined here. Doesn't get them to jump across the line. Takes the pass, quick route here. He's going to scramble and get the first down, but there's a flag in the backfield.
Yep. You could hear the fans calling for the hold. I love what Tucker did here, right? But we're going to find the negated play.
Yeah, Brown able to make some quick reads across the field. See the box empty up. This is going to push him back. A whole 10 yards is going to be tough for them to repeat 4th down.
Alta's still coming out with their offense. Curious to see what the plan is here.
We're
going to see a screen or a draw play here.
Brown takes the snap, launches it down the field to Matt McKay, who had the yardage and was not able to hold on to it as he was headed out the sideline. Actually, a decent play design there. They had an opportunity, but
they had great protection. And then Tidwell just decided to make an enormous play there for Bountiful. He was on Matt McKay like glue.
Yeah, the coverage for the Redhawks secondary has been great so far. We see Gilman coming out with the safety blanket, Siaki right next to him.
I think you go shot play first.
Gilman hands it off to Siaki. He's fighting for that outside and gets meat quick there. And number 41.
Yeah, Steven Tua absolutely stops Fekitoa in his tracks. They go for the zone read there. Looks like it's almost kind of like an outside zone stretch play. And Alta does a great job at just extending the line of scrimmage and fighting really hard at the point of attack.
Things are starting to get chilly in this second half. Temperatures around 48 degrees. Gilman drops it back, has nowhere to go with it, fires it in for that screen pass, but not able to connect.
Going back to the first half, Alta's defense has really stepped up the physicality. They've done a great job at fighting at the point of attack, not being overbearing in their attack, right? So as fakes, different misdirections come, they're staying home. They're not watching ghosts, right? And it's paying off right now.
Redhawks trying to regroup here, coming out of halftime. Had a lot of success here in the first half of this game with 28 points. And Gilman drops back, is reading across the field, is going to move out of the pocket, and he tucks this one in, and they're going to put him right at the end of the chain. So they might spot him short of the first down.
Steven Tua again, just absolutely coming in with reckless abandonment and smacks Gilman. Gilman's a tough kid, hops right back up, and we looking at 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1? 4th and 1.
4th and 1. Gilman also been pretty smart on the evening. That's probably the biggest hit he's taken on the evening. Does a good job just getting pushed out of bounds. Always frustrating for that defense to not be able to push him. went up for that QB sneak, and we threw a flag there. Looks like someone made a move a little early. The offensive line excited to get a push there. Went before the center. And the QB sneak is probably no longer an option from the
Big Paxton
6
Gibson
yards
there with a false start. Sorry not to call you out, bud. Happens to all of us.
We see.
You know, it's great job by Alta's defense, though, coming in, getting the stop after going, getting almost midfield and getting stopped on fourth.
It's Britton Tidwell with the punt. Puts this one down the field inside the 10. Bobbled it out of bounds at the 3-yard line. A little change of pace there as we see Tidwell kind of seeing if there was a lane for him to move the ball down, run the ball down the field. Safely punts it out for excellent field position.
You know, one of the hardest jobs in football is being a punt returner, right? You only have one job, but it is one of the toughest. You have to be so decisive back there. Any kind of hesitation can be a disaster, right? Be interesting to see what Alta's sets look like as it's their first time kind of in their own end zone.
Yeah, backed up in their end zone. Keep that bunch wide with Matt McKay close to Brown. Takes it, hands it off up the middle. Fighting for the yardage for some breathing room there.
Looks like Lonis gets 3 yards right here. Looked like it was just a quick inside zone left play here. One of the big things you're seeing out of Alta in this first half, they're winning at the point of attack on the offensive line. They're moving bodies. It's creating an interesting dynamic that I think could be really big for the second half.
Yeah, most of the time we see Bountiful for the 3-man front. The 3-3 stack moving around the field, man in motion. And Turner is just going to keep this one, hoping to gain more yards on that one. Defensive ends stay home and swallow him up.
Big Max coming through, staying in his rush lane, doesn't allow Tucker to get out on the draw, and makes a huge play to stop him for a big 3rd and 7 coming up.
Ooh, 3rd and 7 for the Alta Hawks as this Red Hawk defense has made life tough for them. Backed against their own goal line. Turner sends Lonis in motion, swings it out. Ball came out a little hot. Lonis not able to hold on to it for that screen pass. We'll see the punt team come running out.
They had this blocked up really well, right? All 3 receivers were locked up. It was going to be one-on-one for Lonis and the safety. Brown just misses him out front. Obviously, it's uncomfortable being back in your own end zone, and obviously for the first time today, it's a good learning experience. And like we've seen this Alta team, if they have it again, they seem to be learning how to fix it.
Looks like the punt is tipped there. It is going to be excellent field position there for the Red Hawks.
Bountiful's going to love that. You can call me Captain Obvious, but they're going to love that.
Yeah, after bit of a coughing kick punt here for the Red Hawks, being able to get to the punter on that one. Going to put them right there at the 16-yard line with an excellent opportunity for the Red Hawks to score.
I think you go do what you do best, right? Run power, run counter, run trap, get some bodies moving, and let Fekitoa get downhill.
Make sure the Alta ends stay home, or we could see Emerson Gilman get his 3rd rushing touchdown of the evening. Gilman takes the snap, hands it off, this time to number 10, Zeke Murdoch, who fights it up into the hole, gets a gain of 4.
Yeah, I like this here, right? They go to the inside zone play with a lead blocker out of Fekitoa, which is a little bit different look than what we've seen all game. Zeke Murdoch hits the hole really, really hard, and gets a nice gain of 3-4 yards there.
Zeke's going to come off the field, and Brock McSwain, the wide receiver, is going to come back on. Change in package, 4 wide, and Siaki in the backfield next to Gilman. Gilman takes a snap and is reading towards the end zone. fires it to Siaki. Not able to connect.
Really good pass protection. One of the things you'll notice out of Fekito is when he runs routes, he runs them with a purpose. Everything, all his movements, right, finds a little bit of space there. This Bountiful team has just seemed to be a step off on things this half, right? And they seemed that way on the last drive.
Yeah, early for them again, as we know they enjoyed the bye week last week. Trips out to the left side. Gilman takes a snap, hands off to Siaki, fights through, splits the Red Sea, and is dancing in the back of the end zone.
And I will eat every single one of my words on that last comment. They were not a step off there. They went right to their bread and butter. They ran counter GT, let Fekitoa follow that experienced offensive line. And they take another 3-score lead here halfway through the third.
Great play there again by Bountiful. Making moves and getting up the field.
It's so impressive how this offensive line moves for the Redhawks. They are a big, stout offensive line, but extremely athletic in the guard and tackle positions, and then their center is just phenomenal.
Looks like the return team was a little excited there. They could have seen someone on the line jump. They will.
You know what I really need to do, Nate? I need to go talk to the Hogs down there from Bountiful. I need to find out where they like to eat. Because your man up here is starting to get the tummy rumbles and definitely needs some food.
5 o'clock games do throw off the schedule, so yeah, if anybody familiar with the area has a spot to recommend, we are more than welcome to hear it as we see them attempt this PAT, push back another 5 yards. Not able to get to it, but puts on another point on the board. We have a 3-touchdown lead for the Redhawks.
That was just a clean drive, right? Went right back to what they do best. Run the ball.
Only having to start from the 35-yard line made life easy on them.
It definitely does. But that Alta defense really is making them work for every single yard. And they go right back, like we said, they go back to what they do best, right? Move their offensive line around, let Fekito follow the guys.
Landon Zayas again for kickoff here. We did see them kick a fieldable ball at the start of the half. We'll see if they try that again. This one, big deep kick here. Looks like Eva Morton's going to take it again. Tries to cut it up the field. Is another solid amount of coverage there by the Redhawks. Extracurriculars with some blocks in the backfield is going to probably negate all the efforts by Eva Morton.
Yeah, you know, we're seeing a little bit of testiness coming out here. You know, special teams plays, things like that. You're going to see those things occasionally. Got to hone in here, right? You can't hurt your team on special teams plays, right? You got a young quarterback, you got a young team. You don't want to back them up because of something that happens on special teams.
Yeah, I get playing special teams. That's your moment to shine. Get out there, but yeah, hurting the team from a block behind the.
You know, as a special teams player, right, you have to be some of the most physical, but you have to be some of the most smart. And you got a lot of young guys out there, and they got to learn their lessons. That happens.
Let's have a 4 high for the Redhawks coming across. Fires that quick over the middle to Bear Strong, and it looks like they'll call that one incomplete again. Bear Strong coming out on the wrong side of these close calls.
Tucker Brown threw an absolute dart between the bodies there. It did look like they had 3 or 4 high back there, almost like a quarters look. And they ran some slants underneath, and they all split to the point of attack quick, and they really, really laid some punishment there.
Turner fakes the handoff, swings it to Matt McKay over the middle, hauls it in. Gain a 7 on the play.
I like what Alta's doing right here, right? They're trying to get Tucker into a rhythm, right? Quarterbacks are like, I mean, they're like anybody else, right? But they're any thrower of any sport, baseball, whatever. You got to find a little bit of a rhythm. They're getting Tucker quick, easy throws. Let's see if we can get him in a rhythm here.
Too high safety look for the Redhawks. Turner swings it to the outside quick to Evan Morton, able to hold on to it and get the first down.
Again, it's the quick looks. I love the back out motion, right? It makes their defense look. One of the reasons to do that back out motion that Alta does is allows you to have an idea of what the defense is running, right? If they're in a zone look, if they're in a man look, right? Immediately, Tucker makes a quick decision, hits Evan on a comeback route for the first down.
Brown single back here. Matt McKay in the tight wing here. Looks down the field for a shot to Evan Morton to the back shoulder. Flips the hip around, not able to hang on to it.
I love that play call, right? You get your first down. You've been running the ball pretty well this half. You go to your play action play. Just a slight miss to the outside. It's where you want to miss in that situation. Got to go get that ball.
Yeah, taking the shots down the field. If it was easy, everybody would do it, but that's a tough ball to get outside the numbers. Evan Turner hands it off to Lonis up the field, tries dancing around. Just gets a gain of 2.
Yeah, this Bountiful defense, right? One of the things that we can see here to end the game is, we're going to see how conditioned, how strong they are, how they're going to finish. But if their defensive line can, settle in and own the trench, this Alta team is going to become one-dimensional again.
Man in motion for the Hawks. Brown slings it across the middle of the field, and that's Alsop almost intercepted it there. Had a step in front of Matt McKay. Did a great job reading the route. Hands of a linebacker, as I profess, but does a great job of getting in front of it.
Alsop has been all over the field all game. His athleticism is really, really impressive, and had a chance to make a special play there, but knocks the ball down. They're going to get the ball back.
Too deep for a bad snap there over the head of the punter. Still gets it away. And in front of the return team, this taking a favorable bounce, pushing the Redhawks a little deeper in the territory than we've seen them for in a while.
Wow, McAllister made a special play right there. Scoops it up quick and absolutely levels that punt. I feel for the long snapper. I've been in his position. And needless to say, if there's a worst job on the field, that's the one. That one terrifies me.
The long snapper is the...
Yes, oh my gosh. But maybe that's the problem, if you're a long snapper at 280 and can't sprint anywhere, then it's, you're in a bad place.
Gilman coming out here with one tight end and a running back. Takes the snap, trying to look quick to the outside, doesn't have anything. Tries dancing around and takes another hit from the Alta defense.
Looks like they went with a counter play action with a little bit of a boot there. Alta does a good job staying home again. Right, this defense has been impressive. The only time Bountiful scored in their last 3 drives is when they had the 30-yard field. This Alta defense has been really impressive this second half.
Yeah, I've done a great job making life hard on the Redhawks. See the tight end on the short side of the field. Hand off to Siaki. Bounces through the leg tackles. Gilman trying to get in front of him to make a block. breaking through, bounces off the safety for another 5 yards. Running down the field.
You got to give the receiver, Junior Tippy, all the props in the world as he pancakes his man out on the edge. They run that little split zone play again. The DN crashed. Tafua whips out, seals it, and Fekitoa's out to the races. Gosh, what a special player.
Yeah, he's done a great job running between the tackles and then breaks one loose on the outside. It's easy to see how he was able to rack up over 1,300 yards in the regular season. Gilman takes a snap, pulls it, and he's running to the outside all by himself. Meets the secondary, tries to beat him to the sideline, and gets brought down.
They lulled him to sleep there, right? They haven't run that zone read very much for a little while. They haven't pulled anything. Steven Tua gets a little excited wanting to get to Fekitoa, and immediately Gilman just says, all right, I'm out of here. He pulls it out. It looked like Fanua was the one that brought him down on the outside. Gotta stay committed to discipline.
And the second down and 2.
What do you think about a play-action shot at the end zone right here?
Could definitely be effective. Gilman, we know he likes to sling it down the field, but hands it off to Siaki. Flag comes out from the side ref as he fights for the first down. Quick flag there. Could be a holding.
Formation, maybe? It was really quick off the snap, wasn't it?
Yeah, we'll have to see.
By the way, I was extremely wrong.
Legal motion. 5-yard penalty remains second down here on the field. We have 58 seconds left here in the third quarter with Bountiful up 38 to Alta's 14. Clock is running. Yeoman hands it off to Siaki. He's fighting up. Gets met stiffly by the defensive line of Alta.
They run that split zone again. They've been really fond of that. And then you got Steven Tua again filling the hole and absolutely meeting Fekitoa in a car crash in the middle there. There's a lot of toughness going on in this game between these two teams.
Yeah, both teams. I think that's smash mouth football, able to air it out when they need to. Gilman could be taking an audible from what he's seeing. Just the one high safety for the Hawks. Keeps it on the edge, is trying to beats the defender, spins back, still on his feet. Finally caught down at the 9-yard line.
Wow. He gives the people the Braxton Miller spin move right there. And I love that play call, though. Right, they run what looks like a power, and then he almost has a lead blocker in the guard, and he gets to read it. If it's open, he gets to run. If it's not, he's got the wide receiver streaking towards the end zone. I love that play call. Special athlete.
Exciting way to end the third quarter here as we are going to take a break from the KSL Sports Rewind Network and meet you back here at the fourth quarter. This Rewind Network Friday night 5A football, a Region 5 team versus a Region 6 team here. Start the evening. Gilman trying to finish this drive in the opposite end zone after a big run play. His boots out to his left. Swings it in to the wide receiver. They're going to call it a catch there. Great job by number 16, Britton Tidwell, hauling it in.
I love this play. Everything about Gilman's skill set was on display. Nifty footwork. He gets that spin out again. That's such a hard throw to flip the hips, get to the left, and then Tidwell does such a good job at finding the goal line, setting up camp, and then Gilman delivers an absolute strike into Tidwell's stomach, and here we are, 4-touchdown lead.
Redhawks starting to pull away from Alta. They're lined up for the PAT. That kick is up and good. Putting a 42 points on the board for Bountiful. Do apologize if anyone was confused looking at the scoreboard. Forgot to be updating the quarters. So we're in the fourth quarter now. 12 minutes left.
You know, Alta at this point, you know, it's we've said it so many times, but it's finding a consistent groove. What's going to work over and over and over again. And I feel like we saw them come out. They wanted to establish the run, right? And as they went to establish the run, the pass game kind of slowed out a little bit, right? And I think it's finding that balance for the Hawks on how they can integrate the two of them to be able to find consistency, keep Bountiful off balance a little bit.
Landon Zayas kicked the last couple kickoffs inbounds, trying to give Alta a chance to return. This one skipping across the middle. Hits the up man in the foot. He's able to get on it. Start the field position from the 32-yard line. That's probably one of the more scarier things to do, is have a squib kick come at an up man.
Terrifying, and that ball's got to feel like an absolute stone hitting you in the shins right now. It is cold out here.
Yeah, it's definitely finally cooling off. We were lucky to have a pretty warm fall football season, which we appreciate. Colin usually on top of the booths at the high schools.
Thank you, Bountiful, for having somewhere inside for us.
Brown takes the field from the empty set, throws it over to Evan Morton, who is just swarmed by Winston Robinson.
Weston Robinson just comes in and flies in on Evan Morton and absolutely hammers him, right? I like what Alta's trying to do. They realize they got to start just moving the ball down the field quickly, so they're going to go to these quick, short passes that are going to feel a little bit like a run game. And the biggest thing here is they got to complete these things. And I know that sounds obvious again, but
yeah,
football is sometimes just simple.
Brown takes a snap again, goes for the draw, sniffed out quickly by a late blitzer. Nowhere to go here, brings up a quick third down for the Alta Hawks.
I'm not sure this was ever noticed by the offense here, but you've got this three down front that Bountiful likes to run, and we used to always call this an NCAA blitz, but you're bringing your middle backer and your C defender, right? The C defender came a little bit late, so they're bringing five. The back runs out. He came through unattached or unscathed, and here we are.
3rd and 9 for the Alta Hawks, trying to fight their way in this one. Checks it out. Salonen not able to hold on to that one, bringing up a quick 4th down.
Yeah, we're seeing, lots of pressure coming from different areas, which, again, it's the Bountiful MO, right? And at this point, Alta's just a step behind on where that pressure's coming from. They bring the backside pressure off that short side, and they force Tucker to get the ball out of his hand pretty quick.
Punt return here, team here for the Redhawks, 2 deep. Oh, Brock McSwain holds on to it. It gets swarmed right away there by the return team. Decent punt there, going to put him at the 22-yard line.
That's one of those plays that you call a no, yes. Really quick right there. And great play by McSwain to bring that in. And I'm sure every coach is taking a nice deep breath. And they're willing to deal with the field position at this point. I think they call it disaster averted. Is that?
Yeah. Okay. Crisis averted.
Crisis.
Here we go.
You see?
Redhawks.
That's why we have teammates.
Back on the field, and Gilman with Siaki next to him. Quick handoff there to the running back. Cuts it up the field. Gets his 5 yards before he's brought down again by the Alta offense.
Yeah, Alta switched up their front there. They went kind of to an odd front, walked down both backers, so essentially gave them a 5-man surface there. Zeke Murdoch, they kind of go with the delayed read on the inside zone, which I love for this team because Gilman's feet are just special.
Yeah, it looks like there was a 1 in front of that 0, making it tough to read which running back was out there, but great job there by Zeke Murdoch. Gilman takes a snap, hands it off again, and Zeke finds a big hole there flying down the middle of the field. Bountiful trying to keep this game on the ground and keep the clock rolling.
Big William Nixon on the dart play. He's pulling around, creates a great crease for Zeke Murdoch to run up and just absolutely open the whole play. Big fella's down, and hopefully it's just something minor and a cramp, and they're able to get him back on the field.
Yeah, while they take a break, we'll take one too here on the Sports Rewind Network. Back KSL Sports Rewind Network, we're able to get the injured player off the field. Gilman with Zeke in the backfield with him, keeping this clock rolling. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, play action here. Gilman running for his life, stays up, and then is finally dragged down. Number 26, Jaden Taylor, making havoc in the backfield and gets to him.
Bennett Coaster, was it Bennett Coaster or Jaden? Either way, whoever it was, absolute great motor to continue finishing on that. Gelman's a tough kid to bring down. The motor to continue moving, continue fighting. They end up fighting there, and great play.
Yeah, I believe it was Bennett Coaster there, able to wrap him up, make life hard for him. As it brings up a second and pretty long here for Gilman. Hard snap there, hands it off, and gets washed up after a gain of 1.
It's a great play. They brought up Cole Albrecht down on the side there, tackled the left tackle for Bountiful, shot out at him immediately, and Mason Tawala had a free lane right at the mesh point for Bountiful. Barely misses, but the rest of the Alta defense was swarming to the ball.
Great job there by the Redhawks, keeping this clock moving. 8 minutes and 20 seconds left to play here in this playoff matchup. Gilman's going to be looking down the field. He's buying time. It looks like the flags are coming out for the holding as he's just going to take off. Still on his feet, able to shake everybody out of the shoes. Great job there by Gilman, being quick and shifty. An excellent play, maybe negated by holding in the backfield.
There are multiple players getting up from that and just limping away. That was a physical football play, and Gilman decided to try and put everything in his own hands there. Just about got it, like you said, negated by the holding. If they got a shot of oxygen that Mr. Gilman can take real quick so he can breathe again before this next play starts, that might be nice.
Yeah, see if we keep a running back in the backfield to try to buy him some time here. I don't think I can do the quick math here. About 3rd and 30 for the first down for the Redhawks.
You're better than me. I just would have went 3rd and forever and let somebody else do the math there.
Has one back here. Looks like they're going to send pressure. Gilman's going to dance around in the backfield again. Checks it out to Winston Robinson, able to get 8 yards on the play, but not quite the 30 needed for the first down.
Yeah, Gilman does a good job to avoid pressure. The key there, in my opinion, is get out of it unhurt, right? Just throw the ball, move along. Let's punt this one away. You've got enough of a lead right now. It's not worth getting hurt and trying to make something too crazy happen.
Yeah, did a good job making the play complete the play. Kept it in bounds, kept the clock running for him.
There's something to be said about protecting your body.
Punter buying time here before he gets it away. Line drives it down the middle of the field. Rolls it out. No chance for a return here. It's going to keep rolling all the way to the 25-yard line.
Wow, that looked like a Derek Jeter grounder up the middle right there. Absolutely smoked. Very effective, though. You know, Jeter-esque, right?
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that was, line drive is exactly what I was seeing on that one as well.
See what Alta does here. I think they just need to establish a little bit of confidence in themselves, find something to get moving, and I want to see them go back to their bunch tight formation.
Brown takes the snap, surveys the wide side of the field, launches it down the middle to Evan Morton. Not able to connect there. Pass falls incomplete.
Great play by Parker. I want to say it was Parker Moore. Yeah, Parker Moore, the defensive back. He had Evan Morton there streaking down the field. Did a great job at coming over the top, avoiding contact, and getting the PBU there.
Ooh, Alta Hawks trying to get this ball down the field. Checks it up to Matt McKay. Goes fighting up for yardage. Making this a manageable third down for the Hawks.
Quick RPO game there to Matt McKay, right? They give the action for the inside zone. Linebacker fills over the top, immediately fill it, with Matt McKay. Looks like they got the first down there. We'll see how they decide to attack here. Here's that bunch tight.
Bunch tight again here. Brown looks down the field and is going to launch this one. Oh, thought he had an angle there on the outside wide receiver.
Bountiful said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. They did a great job covering up the bunch tight formation there. That's been a go-to play for them to be able to find something, and they didn't let any of the action coming out of that bunch formation fool them. You will see Alta go back to it, though, in the boundary.
Second down and 10.
Brown takes the snap back, checks it down to McKay. He's fighting for yardage up the sideline, gets the first down, and falls out of bounds.
The reason they like this bunch tight formation into the boundary is it causes a numbers issue for Bountiful, right? They have to decide where they want the extra help, and Alta's able to take advantage of it there.
Looks like the Maple Mountain Northridge game finished up, so the winner of this matchup will be facing Maple Mountain next week as Brown hands it off up the middle, and they're fighting for yardage, doing a great job taking advantage of probably some tired legs out there with this ground game.
Yeah, Alta really has established a much better run game in the second half. They've gone to that single back power play, and it's been really effective for them against this odd front of Bountiful.
7-yard play, second down and 3.
Brown takes the snap again, checks it down to the outside. Tough to flip those hips around, not able to connect.
Yeah, it's those little ones. As you get older and as you get more experience, right, those have to be the gimmies, right? And this Alta team, like we said, they're young. They're going to learn. This is great experience for them. They're just meeting a buzzsaw in Bountiful. I mean, one of the most fun teams to watch in the state of Utah.
Yeah, again, Bountiful only dropping one game to Viewmont in the regular season, but they took it to double overtime and just were not able to get the points needed. Brown takes a shot down the field. Looks like they hauled that one in. They're calling it a catch there. Matt McKay hauls it in one-on-one on the outside.
I love this play call, right? Again, they go with that back out, right? It causes the defense to decide immediately. They have a defender shoot down. Matt McKay goes over the top. Great ball.
Brown chucks this towards the end zone. Some contact there. Refs calls it good. Evan Morton still having a hard time connecting on those deep balls. Having a hard time fighting through that secondary.
Bountiful's DBs have done a great job at not letting Evan Morton get loose. Parker Moore has been attached to his hip.
Three bunch to the wide side of the field as they hand this one off, getting up the middle. Great job there by the linebackers, hitting that hip and taking them straight down.
Their most productive play of the second half, single back power. They keep going back to it. It just creates a numbers mismatch, right? When you're able to kick down on that nose and pull the kid around him, you're one-on-one with a linebacker up top.
Brown takes a look at the corner route there. Matt McKay not able to pull that one in. Looks like a great coverage there by Winston Robinson. Able to go toe-to-toe with the big dog.
Looked like he only had a two-read play there, right? He had a shot at the back and then the streaking receiver up the sideline there. Great coverage by Bountiful on the top side there by, it's not Noah Forbes, Winston Robinson.
Fourth down here for the Hawks. Trying to get at least the first down. Ball is tipped and intercepted. Number 44.
I don't have that number. Do you have that number?
No, I don't have that one on the roster either, so I'll have to ask around to see who can we credit the possible game-sealing interception here.
Great job by the big man, though. Sees the ball get up in the air, reacts, shows the athleticism, because we know that offensive and defensive linemen are the most athletic people on the field. Obviously, no bias from the booth.
The quarterfinals play next Friday against Maple Mountain, who knocked out Cambridge earlier today. Maple Mountain.
All right, Redhawks offense taking the field. Looks like some new faces out there. Winston Robinson filling in as quarterback here. Tried to play out the rest of this game. 4 minutes. And we have 10 seconds left here in tonight's matchup.
What a clinic by Bountiful. I mean, they didn't leave their game plan at all during the game. They stayed consistent all game. Really impressive.
Take the snap here, hand it off to the outside. Big lane here, fighting through the middle. Zeke Murdoch does a great job making a play.
You know, one of the big things you see out of a team like Bountiful, right, is that they're such a well-oiled machine. As you plug guys in, you're continually able to do the same thing because the culture is established, it's built, guys do things the right way. Coach Burdett over at Alta, I believe, is building that program in that direction. They're just young.
Takes the snap again with the keeper, fakes the handoff, trying to fight to the outside. Number 1, Winston Robinson. Catching a few balls, making a few plays in DB. Now it's taking the snaps.
Good job by the Alta defense there, too. Staying home. You know, one of the biggest things of character, and I know that Coach Burdett has got to be pushing this right now, finish, right? These reps are going to matter coming into the spring. These things matter, right? It's let that bitter taste in your mouth kind of permeate. Let it sit there. Learn from it.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity to see which kids you have like playing football. This is could be their last opportunity of the season. We see a handoff coming up the field. Number 21, Carter Brooks moves the ball up the field.
Looks like Jackson DeMille with the tackle there. One of the things you got to credit this Alta team with they never shied away from the contact. They were physical. They fought hard all game. Again, this Bountiful team is experienced. This O-line has so many starts between all of them.
Third down and 3.
Yeah, Bountiful, again, reaping the rewards of how far this program has come as they hand it off again and is bouncing up the field and gets the first down.
Carter Brooks, the lead blocker, number 1, Winston Robinson. That is enough for a beatdown. First down.
Bountiful first down here with 1:41 on the clock. We have to make sure both sides still show as much sportsmanship as possible. We know it's all about fighting for yardage and pushing, tackling, but be able to stand up, pick each other up, and shake hands afterwards.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in right here, right? You know, as you're Alta, you're considered the underdog. Everything you're about is, you know, kind of fighting to that and establishing that kind of attitude. And you know, you get in these moments, it hurts, right? These moments hurt really, really bad.
Alta had a chance to go out swinging here as the Redhawks are lined up in victory formation. You rarely see an offsides in this situation, or a false start. And I'm pushing back another 5 yards. First and 15, 1:10 left.
You know, the PA announcer just said this is one of the better formations in football, and I got to tell you, even in walkthroughs in college, this was everybody's favorite formation to get into, right? You practiced celebrating. You practiced being in victory formation because there's nothing better than being able to put that V right there. Everybody line up in it. You get another W in the column.
So again, this will lead to Bountiful hosting Maple Mountain next week for another step closer to the 5A championship. Bountiful is hoping to get back to and could be the favorite to win it all.
Yeah, they really look like they have a big swagger, big confidence about themselves right now. You know, this Bountiful team has everything you need to be able to win championship games.
Yeah, well, that will wrap things up for it. Final score here, 42 to Alta 14. Appreciate being out here with Braden and Austin running the camera for us. KSL Sports Rewind crew getting us out here. Braden, any last takes before we sign off?
3 big things in football, right? Special teams, offensive line play, and defensive play. This football team has all 3 of those things. If they can stay true to who they are, they will be one of the toughest teams, if not the toughest team in the state to take down.
Well, thanks, everyone, for tuning in and checking out KSL Sports Rewind. Good luck to everyone out there with the remainder of the playoff schedule. Have a good evening.